Hi, so we are going to wait like 2 minutes more. So if it's going to enter somebody. Okay, so we are going to start. So I introduce me. I'm Pamela Horta. I'm from Mexico City and I'm 28 years old. And I'm the actual MCVP PD here in ISEC from Costa Rica, from the MC Brave. So these are the topics that we are going to talk today. First, we are going to talk a little bit about the history of PD in Costa Rica. Then we are going to talk about main partners, a little of bottlenecks, just Big Forum, that is very important here in Costa Rica, the 40th anniversary, and a little bit of PR and government relationships. Okay, so a little of history. I am the third MCVP PD here in Costa Rica. The first one was Paulina Castañeda of MC Kaizen in 1617. The next one was Elvira Ramirez, 1718, and me, 1819. So a random fact of this is that the last two and me MCPPDs were Mexican, or were Mexicans. And another random fact is that uh, Paulina and Elvira start his term like 2-3 months before the MC starts to work. So I am the first MCP PD that starts like in time. So that's something strange. But okay, so let's go into pass for the data. Oh, I don't know what happened here, but okay. I'm going to put it like this so you can see fine. In the first period of MCPPD, of MC Kaizen, is what happened is that they don't have incomes. They have like general agreements. They signed it, but they don't have like economic incomes. And PD have the need to apport to the incomes of the entity. So they sign like some agreements with Techo, Asobitico, and Pactico, but there was like agreement generals of attraction and things like that for the entity and for OGX, but they really don't like have PD. But it was a year that they have like, a very strong AG, and they work with Selena, for example. Yeah. So the first year they don't have anything of incomes, The last period, they start to work a little bit stronger with companies for just big firm. I'm going to talk about this later. Well, but also the incomes that they have was 1,100, so there was not a lot. The incomings come because they sell workshops for just big firm, but they don't have profit a lot, so that's quite a problem. And this term, today, I have food for 1,500. But this was because I started to work with the past companies that the last term work, and also there was like a problem with our organization that is Wisene. So there was like a program that they start to work like in the first period of PD, but they don't do anything, and now we finish and do like the job, so we have the money. I'm going to talk about main partners like later. So you can see that with the past period and with this period, I have starting to work with new companies, but also I start to have like a more strong tracking, because this is like a problem here in Costa Rica, that the persons don't know how to track the companies. So it's something that have to push a lot with education. So I'm going to continue with the presentation. So if I had to talk about main partners of PD here in Costa Rica right now, I'm going to talk about the partners that give us money. So is Sykes, that Sykes, Roche, Craft, and Breed, and also Impact Hub, but Impact Hub don't give us money, but we actually work here in the co-working. So we have like a kind of relationship where we pay like a part in cash and another part with trainees of GTNG. But that's cool because we have like a good place to work. The others are Sykes, Roche, and Reed. They work with us for just big firm, but also, for example, they give us things in kind for other things, and also they offer to us his installations for some activities. And Kraft Heinz, that give us like money for some conference, and they give us always in kind for our conference, so that's cool. If I have to talk about bottlenecks, we don't have pipelines in sales in Costa Rica. The people here doesn't know how to sell, and we are like starting to give to them education, but we need more. And also PD here don't have like VPs in the LC, so I'm like working sometimes with my ESTs, but now we don't have pipeline for ESTs, so that's a problem. We don't have, well, education in account management. So something that happened a lot is that they start like relationships, but they always look for the partners when they need something, and when they have like that thing, they don't give a good report, or they don't have feedback of the company. So the companies have like some problems with that because we look like not professional persons. The other thing is the bureaucracy and very slow response time. This happened a lot because that was something that I don't expect when I arrived here. So I expect like 1 month to have response, and sometimes it's like 2-3 months. Also in government, for example, I asked for a meeting with the Ministry of Youth people, at when November starts, and my meeting is going to be at Friday. So it happened. It passed 3 months. Another thing is the entity is not used to signing contracts for partners. That's happened a lot with the partners that are not from operations. For example, if we have like a person or like a company that is going to give us something for a conference or for just big forum, the entity than used to sign something that say what we have to give to them and what they have to give us. So this is something that I have been working a lot this term, because it's very important. Something that we have to work more and more is to recover trust with partners of the past, because for the same that we are not like very good in account management, sometimes the companies doesn't want to continue working with us, but they used to give us a lot of things or money or things like that, so we have to recover that trust. So now I want to talk a little bit about Just Speak Forum. Just Speak Forum is very important here in Costa Rica, because it's one of the events that give us more money for PD. So it's very important, but I'm going to talk you a little bit about this. It has been done for 3 years and now it's going to be the number 4. For MC Dots and for MC Brave has resulted the highest average income from PD. But something that has to happen is that Just Speak Forum has to stop to be the thing that give more money from PD, because I think that the companies that work with us the last year and this year have to be upscale the next term. So this is very important that you take in count. The goal of delegates have never been achieved, and that's very wrong, because when you're going to sell to the companies, you say a number of assistants and you are selling that. So if you don't have that number of assistants, you are failing with the contract. So for this year, we are planning 3,050 assistants, and the last year they have like 2,200 and something like that. We were advised by with PNUD for the Just Speak Forum agenda, and this is very important because we align all the speakers and all the workshops with the SDGs and with the urgent topics in Costa Rica and with the world relationship with youth. So this is very important. Just Speak Forum runs outside of a national conference. For example, in Mexico, it always in side of a conference. So this is very strong, and this is very cool that happens here in Costa Rica. And we limit the number of ISECers as assistants, give more space to external assistants, because this is something that is also in the guidelines of Just Speak Forum and at global with ISEC International. So this is a little bit of Just Speak Forum. It's going to be the 4th edition in May. Another topic is this year we have like the 40th anniversary, and something that we're waiting for this event is to have like media positioning, because we think that is like the best moment to show the work that we have been doing for all these years, and to show the projects and like our members and that kind of thing. So it's like an event not only for alumni or for active members. Also we are like looking to have like a conference event and that thing with medias. Also these events is the opportunity to have a better relationship with alumni, because at the moment we don't have like a very good relationship, and it's also because they don't approach us like as professional persons. That's something that we have to work more. But something good is that now the alumni are changing of board of directors, and the new is like very open to work with us, and that's something that you have to take in account. It was a difficult event to sell in cash, but sales are being made in kind. And we make a relationship with the Mexican Institute of the Embassy of Mexico, which give us a presence in the internal media, and will provide a space for the event, so we don't have to pay for that. And also it's like a potential regulation that we have to scale. And it's the first time that like a national level we're going to have to give a recognition to our partners. So this also led us to to show our partners that they are important for us and to show a little of report. Like at final about PR and government, I'm going to tell you a little bit about how we are working. So we have signed 2 contracts with ICODER and with Ministerio Cultural Juventud. Uh, First, with ICODER is the Institute of Sports and Recreation here in Costa Rica. Both contracts are like general contracts, but when the last IGB, because they have like summer programs, but when the government make change, we lost that program, and the new government don't want to give us money for that. But also we have like a good relationship because we send volunteers to his events to support them, and they support us with installations and that kind of things. For example, in our last conference in Rise Up, they give us the installations so we don't have to pay venue, and that was very good because they led us to have a sustainable conference. With Ministerio de Cultura and Juventud, they sometimes give us installations for some events, but we are going to have like a meeting in the next days because we are planning that all all these kind of relationships have like a really clear program for work. So we are going to talk about how we are going to continue working because it's very important for us. Another relationship is Movemos Costa Rica, but this relationship is more for events. They invite to us to go to events and to have like exposure for our operations programs, and also they led us to show our programs like Just Speak From, that kind of things, and they have like cool other NGOs of young people there, so it's cool to continue with this relationship. Another thing is that we have been working with like, I don't know how to say this. It's like local government, and they give us like money for our conference to support some like food or things like that. Well, they give us the money in cash, so that's cool. But also they are going to supporting us for Just Speak Forum, and they support like in Just Speak Forum in the past. So I'm talking in Spanglish, sorry. And that's all of PR and government. We don't have like a very strong relationship. Well, PNUD. PNUD is very, very, very important because, for example, the like director of PNUD here in Costa Rica is part of our external advisory group, and also they give us like a lot of support with material and with other contacts, and I think that this relationship have to continue, but also with more strategic plan of work. So I think that it's all. So if you have some questions or something, I'm looking here in the chat. So I'm going to stay like 5 minutes if you put some questions, and I'm going to answer. And that's all. So if you, yeah, just Chrome has been the principal incomes from PD, and like I say now, for the last period was like 1,000. It's not a lot, and well, I am planning to have like 10,000 for this year, but it's not 10,000 of profit, and you have to know the difference of that, because one part is to have the event, so the Just Big Forum Cup have costs and things like that, and the other part goes to the entity budget. So that's what happened. Like PD, you have to, the ideal thing is that you give the 20% of the national budget. So think about that. Yeah, that kind of partners are from Joe Speak Forum, like I say. So they buy workshops. At local level, we don't run PD, and the relationships that the LCs have are from IGE and IGB, but we don't manage, we don't control that kind of partners. And that's all. Okay, so if we don't have more questions, I'm going to finish, and thank you.